This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Well, it seems like 2023 is getting off to a very, very tough start. And there's a lot of things going on. So, of course, you have the OGL. I've covered that in detail, and we're going to sit on that and let that see how that pans out. And there's an uproar with that. So now they're trying to kill Dungeons and Dragons for us. But there's a lot more going on that you don't realize. A lot of these smaller companies are getting hurt by that. The shipping costs are finally starting to take a toll on a bunch of different companies. And, you know, one of the companies that really took a beating is a game that I recently got in, which is Darkest Dungeon. And Darkest Dungeon, Mythic, had to cut 2/3 of their staff, downsizing, because of the beating that they have taken. And people wanted to hang them for the delays and everything for Darkest Dungeon. But this is a company that's in a lot of trouble right now and had to sell off some of their product to other companies to produce and put out and make sure it's there. That's a pretty big size company, folks. I mean, a pretty good size, medium sized company. But it's not just that. As of April, there will no longer be a Fun Again games. That is being wiped off. Cool stuff. Let's face it, they're not hitting it home. They're more concentrating on distribution with their quartermaster. And to be honest with you, from what I've heard, they have not done that spectacular of a job. Okay, they've been behind and have suffered through COVID, which is unfair to them because I know Jerry, and Jerry's a good guy. Okay, is this a time where we're starting to see a spiral? I mean, think about it. You're losing Fun Again. Who's next gonna fold up? All these people took all these chances. Miniature Market, thank God, is doing all right, but they had a few bumps in the road. Hey, listen. They sponsor this channel, but I always call it as I see it. And I'm not going to say, oh, they came out of this okay. They have been through some transition since Steven left, and it's been hard for them, especially moving to a new facility. Okay? But they're going to come out of it okay. They're smart. They've got good people. Mike is a fantastic guy, and he's doing great work. And I see, especially, somebody that gets to see things on the inside, how well they're starting to adapt. This is why they're going to survive. And your place to go shop right now is Miniature Market, as well as your local places. But even then, with some of the hang-ups and stuff like that, not being able to get certain product in. I talked to Bearded Browncoat. Okay, a place that I go to all the time, and I support, which is a local place here in Ocala, Florida. If you get a chance and you are from Florida, I'm telling you right now, go there. If you have to drive from Tampa, if you have to drive from Gainesville, you will not be disappointed. Go to the main store. They have a secondary store in Bellevue. If you're anywhere in that area, you won't be disappointed. The good people, and they do a great job because they care. They care. Video games, board games, comic books, everything that you want. It's a giant candy store, folks. And they have a huge game area in the back that you can have events at, birthday parties, whatever you want to do. Call them and talk to them, especially if you live in Florida. If you are not from Florida and you happen to be visiting Disney World here, it's 55 minutes away. It's right up the Florida Turnpike. Get off, boom, bang, boom, you're there. Okay? I'm telling you right now, it is a trip worth taking if you're looking to get a feel for what happens here in Florida. I've been to a lot of game stores throughout the United States, and I have to say, this is one of the best ones, along with the one up in Miniature Market up in St. Louis. their game store, everything that Steven and Mike have done there, the fantastic job that they've done building that store and getting that into shape. But I'm telling you, take a shot and get to this bearded brown coat. Now back to the subject. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to, but you know, I wanted to talk about, you know, a lot of this, how it's fallen by the wayside. Okay, and a lot. I fear that there's more to come. People are getting discouraged in a lot of ways. It's kind of like the same old games coming out. Even though I felt last year was one of the best game years in a long time with Oathsworn and some of the other stuff, Skyrim that came out. I can go on. Age of Darkness I really liked, and you know, the Hero Quest expansions, and ISS Vanguard, all great games. But they're all these big games, and all these big Kickstarter games, and I wonder how much that is hurting everybody. Everybody's putting their heart into this Kickstarter to some ways, and hanging their hats on it. Some of them are trying to fund the stuff from behind with a new project, and playing catch up, and trying to survive off of other money, hoping that their next Kickstarter will make even more so they can get all of them produced. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I think in a lot of ways this is a dangerous time to be funding Kickstarters, because some of these companies are not letting you know that they are in trouble. Okay, I think you're going to see a lot more by the summer of companies fall. And next, conventions. I'm already hearing a lot of people aren't going to Origins. I'm talking a lot of companies are just saying, you know something? It's not good anymore. We're not going. It's not worth it. Even creators are going, you know something? There's not much for me to cover. Does that help the smaller company? Possibly. Does that help the smaller company? I think so. Because now they could probably get tables. But if nobody goes, what good does it do them? Gen Con will always be Gen Con. Will always be Gen Con. But even that, companies can't afford. It's getting more expensive. And as Gen Con tries to make up for the people that aren't going and have to raise prices after all the things that they've been through with the COVID and shipping and all the other garbage items, you're finding that people aren't really going in droves to Gen Con the way they used to go. Now, you know something? I haven't been to conventions in a couple of years now. But if I had to pick one, the only one I'm going to go to is Gen Con. What would be the point to go to Origins? It doesn't sound like there's anything's going on there. And PAX is going through a weird thing where they were hot for a while. Now they're not that hot. BGG, okay. You know, you're not going to see a ton of new stuff there or distributors. Dice Tower is one of the best conventions out there. Let's give Tom his due. Let's tip our hat to Tom for running a great convention. I was going back when it was, you know, just a couple hundred people. Okay, now it's a monster. He's got a West Coast and East Coast. Tom does it very well. It is the best gaming convention. If you were going to play games and meet people and play a huge library and play things that you don't have to, and there's special events and meet the Dice Tower and all that stuff, best conventions that you can go to. And it will always do well. That's the way it goes. But that's not going to affect the industry. Okay? You've got Gen Con, which a lot of people are holding hope on, that they can get their wares there and advertise. Think about how many tables don't have product, but are saying, hey, we've got this, here's our prototype, and we've got a Kickstarter coming. We need to get this backed. Is this a safe enough time to do that? With everything falling? I think you have to open your eyes a little bit and be a little smarter in what you're doing nowadays. It isn't like it was 5 years ago where you back 10 Kickstarters and maybe one has a little bit of a problem, or five of the 10 are delayed a year or two. Okay, but you still get your stuff. And you come out of it and you go, you know something? I backed it. I'm satisfied. I think now with, all these companies quietly having troubles, losing fun again games. And there's more to come, folks. There's more to come. There's more to come. We're only in January. It makes you think, what's next? And I think where it gets hurt is if you start backing stuff on Kickstarter and some of these companies aren't telling you what the truth of it is, and they're hoping to rob Peter to pay Paul. And listen, I'm not trying to hurt companies. I don't want to hurt this. But my concern is your pocketbook. Because all it takes is a couple of burn jobs. Do you want to play games anymore? No, you're going to move on to something else. They're already destroying Dungeons and Dragons. They've already destroyed Magic, okay? Okay, so now people are just getting to the point, well, boy, that Steam Deck looks really cool. Maybe I'm going to run out and go buy one of those. Something to think about, folks. Something to think about. So I would love to hear your comments down below. But, I'm on the inside. I get to hear some of this stuff. And I'm not going to tell you the companies that are suffering and getting banged up. I can't do that. It's not fair. It's not fair to them. Because what if they find a way to get out of it? But I can give you a warning. Just be careful. Make sure that you investigate everything that you back. Okay? Keep an eye on things. Look at what's going around in the industry. Okay? There's plenty of people reporting stuff. Put 1 and 1 together. It sometimes does equal 2, not 3. And think about that. Because a lot of times you get misled. A lot of times you get misled. 1 and 1 is 3. Got it? Okay. Just clearing that one up. I do know math. But a lot of times, a lot of people are reporting the right stuff. Listen. Don't listen to the shock and clickbait stuff. Listen to the things that people are trying to tell you. Okay? And, I'm trying to tell you. This could be, something? I could be 100% wrong. But this could be one of those pivotal years. This could be a pivotal time, folks. You may want to keep your head, you may want to keep your eyes open on this. You may want to keep your eyes open on this because there's a lot of weird stuff going on. And I'm starting to see a pattern. And I think where it's going to hit, it's going to hurt Kickstarter. So, yeah, we're going to miss fun and games. We're going to miss some of these companies. Mythic, who did some really decent games. Okay? I'm surprised, because they used to put up some big Kickstarters. Now they took it on the jaw, downsized so they can keep going. Time to keep your eyes open. How many other small companies are taking a hit and hanging their hats on a lot of things? It'd be an interesting year, folks. Love to hear and what you feel in the comments. Okay, I always appreciate it whether you agree or disagree, when you do things respectfully. Unlike some people, and she knows who she is. But just let me know what you think. I like to respond to it, and let's bring this discussion up. We'll talk more about this on the podcast. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.